Miss Kennedy, second grade teacher in Hingham, Massachusetts. She asked me to help other students, and I enjoyed doing it. And next thing I knew, I kept doing it in second grade. And when I went to third grade, the word spread. And so anything I've tried, even when I've tried to get out of education, I somehow get redirected back into it. I went and taught at the Science Museum. One little story, we had a dome, and there was an entrance into it, but it was like a covered tunnel. And these little first graders went, I don't want to go in there. And it was at the time when Lion King came out.
Okay.
And I told them that Mufasa was in there. Kids went right into the tunnel, wanted to see Mufasa, wasn't even worried about the whole thing. I'm like, this is where I'm meant to be. So 49 years later, here I am. Some people may remember the mimeograph machine. It was a drum, and when you pulled a pin out, part of it popped up, and you put in your copy in here, and then you pulled the pin down, and then you cranked it.
Okay.
And there was fluid that came out on this, purple, and the kids would get it and go, and they could smell all that fumes. And anyone who's had Mimeo will understand what I'm saying. Those of you who haven't are like, what? Guys,
so it's like a manual copier?
Yep. You just sat there and went like this. And then when they got really good and you could program it to say 20 copies and sit back and watch, wow, that was a big deal. Teachers are able to bring in the music. They're able to bring in speakers. Things that could never do when I first started.
Yeah.
To have a speaker was, wow. If somebody's coming in to talk to the kids, you were able to get some businessman or somebody like that, or you knew somebody who would be able to come in. Nowadays, I can just pull up somebody on YouTube and say, here. Kids are kids. The dress may change, the way they talk may change, but kids are kids. I think the parents that we have are much more willing to trust what we're doing than somebody in the suburbs. Well, again, when you go out there as a contractor, any of you who know about contracting or are thinking of contracting, you actually are signing up to not have a job. Because your job is to teach them how to do everything and then move on. And that's what I did. I taught them computer, the technology, and all of that stuff. Risen Christ, I was there for 8 years, and that had lots of positive. We used to clean up the neighborhood, all of that. We also tried to do Discipline with a Purpose and some other programs to help the kids. And then after 8 years, I was offered the job here. The interaction with the kids, the plus and minus. I won't miss getting up early in the morning. I won't miss the correcting and all that paperwork stuff, but the interaction with the kids, that helps you to stay young.
Thank you for being my advisor for 2 years, taught me for 3 years. I know I haven't been the best math student because it was just difficult and I was lazy, but I appreciate, all that you've done for me and how much work you put in. I can remember up in geometry when you would even relate it to football terms so I could better understand it and how it worked out, and you helped me get through it. So, I want to say thank you and, for everything you've done, and have a good retirement.
What I liked about Mr. Beach is that he always used up his time to help each one of us when we need help on math. And because of him, I am now attending an engineering school known as Michigan Tech, and I'm studying engineering at the moment.
And I remember that when I was a freshman, I would always beg him to be in his class. I would have to sneak into his class because I really liked the way he taught us, and it was just really fun. And I remember Mr. Beach starting as of like when we were freshmen, and then when we graduated, he was there for us. So, yeah, thank you, Mr. Beach.
Thank you.
There are days when you're ready to hang it up, but remember the days that are good.
Mm-hmm.
The days when the kids look at you and start to appreciate who you are and the kinds of positive things you do. When they really believe that you are here for them, that you love them.
I miss you, sir.
Well, that's the part that's going to get you.
Yeah, I know.
This my excavation to days cool on. Everything that happens is from now. This is pouring. This is paralyzed. I keep throwing it down to it's hard to find it when your money's gone and you're drunk as hell. On your back with the Rex as the stacks you low. On your back with the Rex and the stacks you low. On your back with the Rex and the stacking you low. I've been twisting to the sun. I needed to replace the fountain in the front yard's rusted out. All my love was down in a frozen ground. There's a black crow sitting across from me. His wiry legs are crossed. He's dangling my keys. He even fakes a toss. safe